Hey guys, this is Jesse with JCS Woodworking, and in this video I'm going to show you how to build a simple DIY hexagonal shelf. So let's get to it. Alright guys, so what I started off with is a piece of 1x material. I believe it was 1x6. And I cut it into lengths that were a little bit longer than what I needed. Now I originally was going to make 5 of these hex shelves, but due to wall space and the size that they were going to turn out to be, I decided to cut it down to 3. Okay then, that was weird. So now I am cutting the first bevel on my table saw. So I'm just taking off a little bit on the end at a 30-degree bevel. That's the angle you need on both sides, so that when 6 pieces are put together you'll get a perfect, or close to a perfect hexagon. So now I flipped it over and I use a stop on my jig here, so that way I cut all of them to the exact same length. That's very important. Alright, so now I got the pieces laid out and I'm just roughly putting them together so I can get a strap around them and try to get everything lined up. So now that I got everything close to being lined up, I put some Gorilla Tape on the seams here so that I can remove the strap and lay out the pieces and be able to put glue in the joints. Alright, so here I am removing the strap, and as you can see I can spread this out now, lay it flat on the table, and just start putting glue in the joints. This method seemed to work pretty well actually. That tape really held everything together where I wanted it, so it was a good way of doing it. Alright, I put glue on the final joint there, and now I'm putting the strap back on, and then to get everything as perfect as possible, I'm manipulating the joints here, and then once I get it exactly where I want it, then I put a pin nail through it. And I did this all the way around, and then we're going to let it dry overnight. Alright, so now it dried overnight, removing the strap, removing all the tape, and then after this, it's just ready to sand. Alright, so I was going to leave this long because I know you guys love watching me sand, but I kept it fairly short for you. I think I sanded to about 150 or 180 grit. Alright, so I made 3 pieces identical, like I said, to save space. I originally would have had 5 of these things, and that would have taken up a lot of wall space, and we just didn't have it, so. So right now I'm just orienting them the way I want them, the way that looks best, and I'm doing my first glue up here. And I'm referencing off of a flat piece of plywood so I can get the joints flat, and then I'm getting my clamps on, making sure everything's even and flush. And then once that side is done, do the exact same to the other side. And this is the orientation that me and my wife decided on that we wanted. You could do almost any orientation you wanted to. There's a few options. Alright, I'm getting the second side nice and tightened up. And there you go. As you can see, I'm pretty proud of myself. Okay then. Alright, so now it's the next day. We're removing the clamps. And I made a roll, you can't see it, but I put a roll of paper there on the other side so I can roll it out. So if I stain and finish stuff, it won't get on my table. Even though my table's pretty messy anyways, I gotta sand it all down. And here I am just rubbing in all the stain and fast forwarding for you guys because it was actually took quite a bit of time. Alright, and then I went back and I rubbed off all the excess stain after about 10-15 minutes. And then the next day I put a couple coats of Danish oil on, which is a mixture of varnish and like tung oil. And there it is on the wall. I like it. My wife likes it. It turned out really good. Alright guys, so as you can see, this was a very simple build. Anybody can do this. If you have any questions, leave them below in the comments. If you like this video, please leave it a comment, a like, and please subscribe. We'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.